I don't know, man. Polka dudes, they get down. I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't know it was. I've never heard of it really down here. I've heard of it like more like the
Never
Midwest.
heard of it anywhere.
Have you never been to like a polka? Like,
No,
okay.
no. This is what I was saying. Like we're on two separate sides of this whole coin. Like, okay, cool. So we're actually recording now.
Okay.
First podcast.
Okay.
So we've been talking about doing it for a while.
Yeah.
You've never done one.
No. No.
I've never done one. So experiment. It's gonna be great. All right. So I guess we'll start. Who are you? What do you do?
Like my full name or just my first name?
First name.
I'll just do first name.
Yeah.
Mary, and I'm a hospice nurse, in-home hospice nurse.
So you like travel around?
Yeah. I
Check it
drive
out.
around people's houses, nursing homes, stuff like that.
Almost dying people.
Yes. Or actually dying people, yeah.
Yeah, super depressing.
It's not depressing.
So I'm Michael. I'm, I guess, an electrician, but I wear a lot of hats. So I do design work. I run a gym. I'm an entrepreneur. I do design everything, graphic design, all that good stuff, and never stop ever.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about doing it for a while. So now we're doing it. So the way that we met is actually kind of weird. So I own a gym in Covington. We've owned it since 2019. You started with us in
2020.
Yeah.
The summer of 2020.
Yeah. So summer of 2020, you actually knew one of the members that was going there already.
Yeah.
Apparently, we went to the same high school. We're what, 1 year apart?
No, we're the same.
Are we the same age?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're the same age. We should have graduated together, but.
Okay. So we go to the same high school, hung out with the same people.
Yeah.
Like we all knew the same people.
Yeah. Yeah.
No recollection at all.
Mm-mm.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I think actually, so your ex-boyfriend's girlfriend, I possibly dated in high school.
Yeah, well, I think how it went down is I think that they were together, and when they broke up, he started dating me, and she started dating you. So, like, I don't know.
And we never knew each other,
Nope.
which is super weird.
Yeah.
So you've got this whole small town conspiracy.
Yes.
So small towns, you can't escape them.
No. I mean, you think you do, but eventually, especially if you stay in it for, like, your whole life, like I have and you have, it just starts to crumble in on top of you at some point because everywhere you go, especially, I mean, yeah, in work, like, it's super awkward because what I do, and then I end up at someone I know or I went to school with, and that's weird, and then it's just, yeah, never get away.
So 2020, you start with us at the gym. Just decided to get, cause you worked out a little bit, right?
No, never.
No?
Like, never even, like, no Planet Fitness, no nothing. Like,
Okay.
never. No.
So-
she just called me. It was the 4th of July, actually. And she was like, come do this workout. And I was like, okay.
That's right. You did come to the 4th of July
Yeah,
workout,
yeah,
didn't you?
That was the first time I ever went.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a little bit, my background, like I got super out of shape after high school, worked on a service truck, doing electrical work. We ate Waffle House every day. And then like I think 2014, I just decided to start running one day, Forrest Gump it. And so I ended up, like I was 285, 290 pounds and got down to like 200 pounds, met up with some friends and we opened a gym. So weird circumstances, you end up joining the gym and 2.5 years later, here we are. Probably one of our best couple friends, because me and my wife hang out with y'all every week.
Yeah.
We see each other almost every day at the gym.
Yep.
We've been talking about doing this for a little while, and then I surprised you by actually buying all the equipment and saying, Mary, meet me at 4:00 on a Sunday, and we're going to record a podcast.
Yeah, I'm much more of the like idea and then never see it through type of person. Like I love to throw ideas, but then I'm actually not going to do anything to make it happen. So it's weird to have someone who's like idea, oh yeah, this is how we're going to make it. That's weird to me. I don't do that.
So that's actually how the gym started.
Oh.
Okay, so it was after a competition at another CrossFit gym. Me and Steven and Callie, the other two owners, we were out to lunch after the competition with some other friends. Somebody goes, you guys should open your own gym. And I was like, okay, we're going to open our own gym. And we had one of the coaches was our friend at the time. And we were like, okay, how do we do that? A week later, I went online, bought an LLC, registered everything, and within a month we were opening a gym.
Yeah.
So I'm very much the grab hold and run.
I'm not, but I mean, if someone does all the work, then I'll participate, but I'm just not good at doing the work. Yeah.
Because I tend to do all the work and participate very little.
Oh, okay.
Huh. You got me playing soccer too,
Yeah,
like last year.
yeah.
Okay, so that was an odd turn. I grew up hating soccer. Like I was always made fun of the soccer kids because I was like wrestler, football, ROTC, hated soccer. Mm-hmm. Somehow you suckered me into going and playing soccer one day last year.
Yeah.
Super fun, and now I thoroughly enjoy soccer. I haven't played it all this year, I don't think. Did I play any this year?
I don't think you've been out there this year, but it's been weird this year. The pickup group has been weird. I mean, it's good, but it's just, I don't know, it's just been weird lately. But
the weather too, like it seems like every Sunday, like right now, you can see out the window, like we're supposed to play at
5, and we're obviously not going to play at 5. So, and it's been like that. It's just been weird, and we keep changing the time to try to like fit people's schedules and stuff. So I don't know, but
that was one thing I got with the gym was like you can never fit everybody's schedule. You just have to like nail down a time and do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I guess fast forward to today, we hang out all the time. Our kids are actually friends, which is cool. Mm-hmm. So we get to hang out all the time. And I feel like we're similar enough with our sense of humor.
Yeah.
But still at the opposite ends of the spectrum sometime.
Yeah.
So, that being said, I found this today while I was watching my son play soccer.
Okay.
You're going to enjoy this.
Okay.
That is dubstep Old McDonald.
Oh, and now it's playing. I'm like, what is this?
Me and Sarah my daughter went down this weird rabbit hole of like, what kind of like weird trap music should they play at a soccer game? They were like, I don't know, like Old McDonald.
I mean, this is actually not bad.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this might be our new intro. Like, it's just going to be Old McDonald trap music.
It should be. I mean, we're from a shithole town. And we
Easy.
Might as well. No, I love it here. I'm just saying, it's a nothing town.
Listen to that bass. Like,
oh, stupid.
So, all right. So, tell me about your outfit that you picked out for today. I get a text from you this morning.
Oh, yeah. Well, because I didn't know this was going to be on camera until like 2 days ago. And then that was a whole nother. I was really stressed out. I was like, I don't want to be on camera. Like, I mean, you're a dude. You can wear a hat and a hoodie and you're fine. Like,
yes.
If I wear a hat and a hoodie, then I
brushed my beard for this.
I didn't do anything for this, obviously.
So I get a text that says, hang on. What does it say? I can look like a bum, right? Or do you want me to put effort in? Up to you. I'm in a hoodie. You want to read the next line or do you want me to?
You could read it.
Okay, I'm feeling stud lesbian today.
I just want to wear baggy sweatpants and a hoodie I have like a white undershirt, like a stud lesbian. That's how I feel today.
It's stud lesbian weather
It
outside. Like
is.
this
It
is
is. And honestly, if I had to choose another life path, like that's probably what it would be. I probably would be a stud lesbian. I mean, not choose it, but like if that I could see that being like the alternative to my life now would be stud lesbian. Why are you looking at me like that? What?
oh man.
What?
All right, I feel like you pulled these little threads and then expect me not to follow them. So, okay, let's go down this rabbit hole.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if my husband were to die, because I don't really have a desire to be with anyone other than my husband. So if my husband were to die, my kids are pretty much grown. Yeah, I'd probably be a lesbian and find like a cute girl, and I'd be the man, and she'd be the girl.
All right, so what's your type?
I don't know, because I actually like the stud lesbian, so I don't know if that's I don't know much about like lesbians. I don't know if you can have like stud and stud. Like I like the ones with like the short hair and like they dress like dudes. They wear like the sports bras and like polo shirts and stuff.
Like basketball players.
Not necessarily basketball players, but just like the ones that dress more like guys. If they have like tattoos and stuff.
Like tall?
I mean taller than me, but I'm short, so.
So you want a guy?
I mean, yes, I'm straight, so obviously I want a guy. But if I didn't want a guy, that's what I would want. I would want like, you know,
a girl that dresses and looks like a guy. Okay.
But I think it'd be fun to like have like a female life partner. I think I could definitely do that. You couldn't have a male life partner?
I think it would be a lot easier. Like minus the obvious necessities that would have to be done to satisfy that person.
Yeah, but I mean, other than that, like the doing life part, I think.
That'd be super easy with a guy.
Right.
Guys are simple. Hat, hoodie, done. Like it's just a closet full of hoodies and hats.
Yeah.
And jogging pants.
Yeah. I mean.
Can you imagine two women's closets?
But not if they're both like stud lesbians. Then it would be the same thing. And that would just be easier. I'm not into, I mean, you've known me long enough. I'm not into makeup or hair or anything else that's, you know, fancy or girly.
You get your nails done like every couple of days.
Okay, I do get my nails done. The only reason I get my nails done is because I tear up my nails if I have access to them. I chew them. I rip them. I've already ripped that. See, I got my nails done last week, and I've already messed it up. So I have to keep my nails done.
So does your stud lesbian partner get her nails done?
I mean, if she has a nervous habit of chewing her nails, maybe. I don't know. I don't get them done. They're not like the claw, you know, like the...
Can we talk about that for a second?
Sure.
What the hell?
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Like, it went so far off the rails with the nail thing. Like, okay, so we're both on TikTok. We send each other TikToks all day long.
I love TikTok.
I would say 50% of my TikTok is chicks like just clicking their nails together.
Yeah, and like clicking it on stuff.
Like we used to make fun of people that like couldn't type on keyboards.
Mm-hmm.
How do they go through life with nails like this? It doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know, but I mean they get really good at it because like I see a lot of them and like I mean every little thing it's like everything they do is like the pad of their. I
don't have huge thumbs. I have a hard time typing. Like, thank God for autocorrect most of the time. I can barely type on my phone.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you know I'm a one-finger texter, so I would really... There's no way I could do it.
Oh, so you're like an index finger texter.
Yeah, because...
I feel like that would be easier with the nail.
I mean, if I type... Maybe with the nail, you mean?
Well, no, I'm saying, like, if you were doing it with the nail, like, it'd be easier to do single finger. Like, maybe that's how they do it.
Maybe. I mean, I've always done one.
Oh, I'm double thumbs.
Yeah, you've made fun of me about the one finger texting before. Yeah.
Haven't?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're like, oh my God, you text with one finger.
I lose track of all the shit that I make fun of you for.
Which, yeah, I have to tell you, too, I think you'll be excited. You were just making fun of me about clogging and being on a clogging team.
Yes, go ahead.
So, you know, my sisters and I would go to, like, these clogging workshops through wherever we can find them. Sometimes they're big, sometimes they're tiny. Like the last one we went to was in Helen, and it was in this like old barn, like literally a barn. But we saw an advertisement that they're doing a Contra workshop, and Contra is like line dancing, but kind of like mixed
All right.
with.
You had me like super excited because I remember Contra on like regular Nintendo, like the two dudes. Like, you never played Contra?
No,
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead. We'll go down that road another day.
this is like it's like line dancing, but with like kind of like polka music instead of like your traditional line dancing music.
Okay.
So we're like, all right, cool. We'll go do a little Contra weekend. We'll do some line dancing. But then we saw that they have it's called Techno Contra, and it's from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. with a live band. I can't wait. So we're gonna go, and it's in March
So this is in Helen.
in Helen, Georgia, in like an old barn.
So it's like a redneck rave.
I guess I don't. I honestly have never done or been around Techno Contra. I have no idea what to expect, but I'm expecting, yeah, kind of like a.
Is it clogging to techno music?
So it's gonna be like line dancing, or like. Of course you don't know, but.
Sorry, outside of my circle.
And when you line dance, you learn like 4 basic dances, and then you do those 4 basic dances to like a bunch of different songs.
Okay.
So like once you learn some of the basic dances, then you can go to like any line dancing thing and kind of jump in. So I don't really know about this because I've never done the whole polka thing. So I don't know. But we'll see.
So we're talking like accordions?
I guess they said it's a live band the whole day. So that's in March. It's like the last weekend in March. So we just like booked our room and stuff. I don't think they're going to like sell out or anything. But
You don't think that there's a huge demand for
it's probably going to be me, my
Contra
sisters,
polka?
and a full polka band. So I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know, man. Polka dudes, they get down. I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't know it was. I've never heard of it really down here. I've heard of it like more like the Midwest.
Never heard of it anywhere.
Have you never been to like a polka?
No.
Okay.
No. This is what I was saying. Like, we're on 2 separate sides of this whole coin. Like,
Well, it's fun. If you ever get the chance to see live polka, I would recommend it.
I think Weird Al might be the deepest I've ever made it into like polka.
I mean, yeah, that's something.
So, something. I told you we went to a Weird Al concert, right?
I think you did tell me that. Yeah.
Possibly the most talented musicians I've ever seen not living up to their full potential.
I'd say most musicians, especially the really talented ones, don't live up to their potential.
Oh, so okay, so let's go down this rabbit hole. Musicians. You were a band geek, which might be one of the reasons that we didn't like hang out in high school that much.
Possibly.
I knew a couple of band geeks, but
Yeah.
you were one of the bad girl band geeks.
I mean, not really. I was a straight A student. I was like top 10 in my class, but I was fun. I wasn't like a nerdy. Oh, no, I was nerdy, but I was still like kind of cool and nerdy.
Like band camp style.
I mean, I went to band camp.
Okay.
Everybody that does marching band goes to band camp.
Okay.
We had it one year. We had it out at the FFA camp. That was fun. So, yeah.
So, all right. So, I've been to the FFA camp.
Mm-hmm.
We did, I think 4-H club or something, like long time ago, like middle school.
Okay.
What does band camp do?
So band camp is where you go and you start learning your drill for the show. So when you watch the marching band perform, how they're like walking around to different places and making shapes and all that. So you have to learn your drill. So band camp, you learn your music and your drill, and you start rehearsing to get ahead of, because when school starts, you only have like after school rehearsals. So band camp's usually like 2 weeks of all day rehearsals. When we went to the FFA camp, it was overnight, which was pretty cool. But you've been to the FFA camp, so the rooms are like just one big room with like a ton of bunk beds. So like all the girls obviously.
A lot of shenanigans.
Well, a lot of shenanigans, and then like the shower situation's super weird.
Yeah.
Which I marched in a drum and bugle corps, so that's a whole nother world that we can talk about whenever. But I'm used to like the whole communal shower thing, but like in high school, these girls were not, so that was weird. But But yeah, that's what band camp is.
I mean, that's when I went. I was in middle school, so you can imagine all
Yeah.
the boys are. We're all changing. Our voices are. We're squealing at each other to leave me alone. I'm in the shower.
Yeah. Yeah. The FFA camp, I think we've all been there for some weird camps. I've been to a
Yeah.
lot of camps there.
Welcome to small town,
Right.
small town USA, where the FFA camp is like the place,
Yeah.
and even that's way out there for us.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, my boys went to wilderness camp there. They do a wilderness camp. They teach them to, like, shoot guns and use different knives, tie knots, that kind of stuff. So they both did that.
Did your boys do Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, any of that?
No. No, so yeah, Patrick's an Eagle Scout. So
Okay.
he was all about
I didn't know Patrick
Scout.
was an Eagle Scout.
He's an Eagle Scout, yeah.
Okay.
But we started the boys in Scouts, and he said that it has become too soft and that he was going to do it himself. So he took them out of Scouts, and he's just been teaching them stuff himself, because I guess they don't let them like go off in camp anymore. Like, the parents
Yeah.
have to go. There's a lot of like things now that I'm sure for good reason, but it just wasn't like that when he was growing up. So
it wasn't like that when I was growing up either. I did Cub Scouts, but Paul, my son, he's 15 now, about to be 16. He was a Cub Scout all the way through Cub Scouts. Mm-hmm. We made him finish Cub Scouts because he started it, but we didn't make him go into Boy Scouts and all that stuff. So It's definitely different because the parents are always there.
yeah,
It's more, the camping, I would say, is almost all about the parents now. Like, who's got the biggest tent and the fanciest outdoor kitchen. Like when we went camping, it was, I took a Foot Locker and 2 tents.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's all we took camping. And
Yeah.
like, we show up the first weekend for our first big camp when he was like 6 or 7, and there's guys pulling up with trailers.
yeah.
With generators. And I'm like, this isn't camping. Like,
No. And
I came out here with like a small lighter and a pack of matches.
Yeah.
Like, what are we
and
doing?
That's kind of how Patrick felt. He was like, this isn't teaching them anything. I can teach them better than this, because he had, and he's from up north, and so like they like camped when it was freezing outside.
Oh, yeah.
So like he knows how to like stay warm, and he knows a lot of stuff. And it's nothing against the Boy Scouts, and we still love the Boy Scouts, but he just felt like, at least around here, what was available, he was like, I can do a better job on my own. So.
It was, the camping was probably like the weirdest part. Like, the rest of it was still good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they learned a lot of camaraderie stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The camping for me was like, we would literally show up and like, I can roll out of a backpack.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always loved that kind of camping. Like,
Yeah.
as minimal as possible. And you got dudes backing their trailer in with the generator and stuff to run their outdoor kitchen. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I came with like a bedroll and a backpacking tent.
We used to camp like that. Like, we would like hike in like with our packs and
Yeah.
stuff, and then, but I gave that up a while ago just because I don't want to. I'm too old. I'm too bougie now. I need a camper and heat and AC.
Have you done the glamping thing?
I haven't. We have our camper, so our
That's
camper's
right.
super nice. So, but yeah, I can do all the like rough stuff. I have done it, but if I don't have to, I'm not doing it anymore.
I'm going to isolate that, and I'm going to send it to Patrick. Now, like, we were supposed to go, so Sarah and I, my daughter, we were supposed to do a backpacking trip on Cumberland Island.
Okay.
And it was, I forget what hurricane it was, but it was 2018 or 2019, I can't remember. But we were supposed to do a backpacking trip around Cumberland Island for, she was in Venture Crew, which is kind of like an offshoot from
Okay.
Boy Scouts. It's for girls and basically anybody, it's just associated around the Boy Scouts.
Okay.
And it was a great program. Like, it's, teens get together and go out and camp and just do like cool stuff. So we had been planning this backpacking trip. Like, I went and got her fitted for a backpack, like a hiking backpack, because
Yeah.
it was a 5-day backpacking trip out of your backpack.
Yeah.
Like, you pull up the first day, and on day 5, you get back to the car.
Yeah.
So we did all this prep work, got all the dehydrated food, got everything that we needed. It's the week of the trip, hey, there's a hurricane and it's headed towards Cumberland Island.
Oh,
So they go, all right, guys, so we're going to head over to Alabama and camp at Chiaha State Park, but we're still going to backpack style it. I was like, okay, cool. We'll backpack in, whatever. So we head over to Chiaha, which I don't know. Have you ever been there?
mm-mm.
So it's right on the other side of the border in Alabama from Georgia. Awesome state park. We get there, we unload the trucks. We're still like camping out of backpacks. Like I'm sleeping in my hammock, like the whole nine, like under the stars. Awesome. Day 2, we get a weather alert, and we're down at the bottom of this mountain, and you only get signal when you're up at the top.
Yeah.
So we had hiked up to the store to just get some candy or whatever, and we all start getting weather alerts. Hey, the hurricane has switched directions, guys. It's coming straight for Chiaha State Park. So that night, I'm sleeping in a hammock under the trees, and it's like my hammock's doing circles. This hurricane came through right on top of us.
Oh,
We all ended up under this one little pavilion, like hanging hammocks inside of this thing. I think there was like 30 of us all sleeping under this one little pavilion because there was no shelter anywhere.
yeah,
It was like, hey, there's this one stone pavilion, guys. Good luck.
that sucks.
It was, and then the next morning, of course, I'm stupid and didn't like test like the dehydrated food and stuff. I got so sick. Like sick, like I have never been this sick. Throwing up everywhere. The nearest bathroom is like a 1/4 mile hike.
Oh God.
So, yeah, it was terrible, but probably the most fun Sarah and I have ever had.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, like
At least there was something good out of it.
dude, I've got pictures like because after the hurricane passed, it was like how that sky gets like it's perfectly clear.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So weird camping story.
Yeah.
We had been planning and planning and planning, and Mother Nature said no, and then she came back and slapped us on the other side of the face.
Yeah.
Any weird camping stories?
No, I mean, probably the worst time we were tent camping and it was freezing. We were at one of the state parks. I don't remember which one, but anyways, it was freezing and our older 2 boys were little. They were probably like 4 and 2, or they were little. And I was worried they were going to like freeze to death in their sleeping bags. And of course my husband was like, they're fine. That's what a sleeping bag's for, And he wouldn't let him put on any layers of clothes. And he got in his sleeping bag in just his underwear. And it was going to be like below freezing. And I was like, this cannot be right. He's like, oh, that's the whole point of a sleeping bag is it uses your own body heat to heat you. He's like explaining the science to me, and I was irritated and freezing. So
Sounds right.
Put everything that I brought on. I had like 4 pair of pants on, all this stuff. I froze to death the whole night. Couldn't sleep. Next morning, he's up. He's literally like almost sweaty from being in a sleeping bag with nothing but underwear on. And he was like, I don't know when you're going to listen to me. I've camped like half my life. Like, I'm telling you, when it's cold, you don't want to put clothes on in your sleeping bag. That's the point of a sleeping bag. I had no idea.
Yeah, it like radiates your own heat back into, it's amazing.
Yeah, so that was probably the last time we took camped. I think I demanded a camper after that. I was over it.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
But you know what? Enough of this. I'm out.
Yeah.
Okay. We're millennials.
Right.
Right.
Technically, yeah. I guess so.
Yeah. So as much as it pains us to say
Right.
that. So when did you start? So you're hospice nurse now, in-home hospice nurse, which allows you a lot more free time. At what age did you decide that you needed to start prioritizing free time over work?
I said it probably around 30, 31. And my main reason, well, really what kind of where the realization set in is just how much I was missing of the kids and their stuff and their sports and their events. I was just missing a lot. And they get, you know, they grow up so fast and they're just all of a sudden they're teenagers and just like, what happened? So, yeah, I just decided I didn't want to miss stuff anymore and that it wasn't, I guess it just became more important to have my time and live the way I wanted to versus the money. The money was no longer the priority. I mean, it's always necessary, but it wasn't the priority
Yeah.
anymore.
Now you see it more as a necessity instead of a as much as I can get all at
Right.
once. And that's
Right.
my journey was similar. You know, I had kind of a fast, odd career. Like you said earlier, like you don't even know what it is I actually do.
I have no idea what you actually do.
So, by trade, I'm an electrician. I'm IBEW journeyman electrician, but I've kind of moved into running a fabrication shop for my company, in addition to owning the gym, all that kind of stuff. So it was kind of a weird realization for me. Mine was a little different. I didn't really have the my kids weren't really into extracurricular stuff that much, so like
Yeah.
we didn't do a whole lot of the games and all that stuff. So about 30 years old, I really started prioritizing my own health. So like wake up one day and it's like a switch flipped. Like, oh, I'm not getting any younger.
Right.
I hurt when I wake up. I hurt when I go to bed. I'm tired of it. So 2014, 2015, I started running. Like, just went out and started running and trying to regain my health. I was 280, 290, somewhere in there. I quit weighing myself after 275.
Yeah.
I just know that I got bigger.
Yeah.
And it sucked. But I knew that if I didn't reclaim my health, then I wouldn't be there for my kids and family. So I started putting a bigger priority on myself, and that may come off selfish, but it was one of those things where if I can't be there for myself, then I can't be there for my family.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a weird. I don't know. I didn't know if other people thought that way. I'm starting to realize that there is kind of a subsect of us out there that did start thinking that way.
Mm-hmm.
The millennial generation, that we started prioritizing home life and personal health over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what I was saying. But when we were coming up, it was still very much like everything about our worth was on what we could make, how much money we could make, what we could bring in. Not just for men. I mean, it was like that for me too. So, and I think that the generation behind us, I feel like they did a better job of prioritizing their needs more so, and just like demanding, like they're kind of the ones that started demanding all of this like paid time off and all these benefits, and as much as like everyone's like, oh, they're spoiled brats, I'm like, I'm really glad, because now I'm like, man, we should have been more, I guess we should have prioritized ourselves a little more, I think. And I'm glad that we kind of hit it to where we didn't spend our entire careers, which like our parents did, just killing themselves for nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I am appreciative of them coming in with their demands, because I think it helped all of us.
So honestly, that's kind of a weird, like, I never want to make this channel about COVID or any of that stuff. Like, I don't want to dwell on any of that stuff. There's been a lot of podcasts that dwell on it, but probably the best thing that happened to even my kind of world, in the electrical field and whatever, was the fact that it started gearing more towards what can we do off-site, what can we do on a computer that will help. So it really propelled me more into a design side of our business, to where now, if my kids need me for a day, like I can completely check out of work for 4 or 5 hours, as long as I'm getting my design work done or my planning done, I'm able to do those things. And that's one thing that I think COVID did was, excuse me, really make us flip that switch of go, okay, we don't have to clock in for 8, 10, 12 hours a day. We can, as long as we're getting that work done and prioritizing the work that needs to be done, we can also prioritize our home life. We can prioritize that. We were able to spread that out a lot more.
Yeah, I agree. COVID was a lot. It was different for me just being a nurse because, you know,
I can't even imagine.
we didn't stop. We didn't get to work from home or anything like that.
Yeah.
I was still doing inpatient when everything first started happening. So, but seeing it, you know, even for the, I don't know, even for our kids, I think about it sometimes. Them going through that, it did kind of put a new perspective on things of like what's actually important because they just shut school down like in a day.
And guess what? The world kept turning.
Exactly. And so all of the kids are like, oh, well, when stuff happens, there are alternatives. It's not all just has to be this way or else, your life's completely ruined. So I think it was, again, it sucked, but there were some good things that came out of it. At least on our end, I think, with the kids and stuff.
And so we were talking earlier about the next generation of technology, right?
Oh yeah.
So I think that helped. I mean, you had kids that didn't necessarily have access to technology before that were immediately thrust into, okay, now we're doing online classes. We're handling computers. We're doing these things. And that's not saying that kids haven't had access to computers and stuff, but there was a whole, subset of the population that didn't, they weren't well off enough where every kid had a computer. Right. Well, that made schools start providing them for kids. And I think that that's going to really help propel this next generation that's coming out into the tech jobs. Like tech jobs, you couldn't ask for a better life. Like the programmers and stuff, I mean, which a whole other rabbit hole we can go down is I've been learning to code lately, and that really makes you want to beat your head against the table.
Oh, no interest in learning to do any of that. That's not for me. No.
But we were talking about Gen Z, the ones that are coming, and when I really think the high schoolers are what have me excited about and again, I hate saying next generation because the gray in my beard is not enough to tell everybody that I'm old now, even though I'm only 36. But this next generation that's coming, the high schoolers they're super smart, right? Like they're on the internet, and they're not just, I know parents, right? Like it looks like they're just like scrolling through TikTok all day. But these kids are learning at a pace that I don't think has ever been seen before.
Right.
Like they're able to learn from a 30-second video what it would take some of us a day to learn, right? And it's crazy.
And that's what I was saying before. Not only are they learning it, they can teach it. Because mine have to teach me. Because I'm not good with technology. I do bare minimum, like what I have to do. So if there's something that comes up, like I'm in school right now, and so of course all of my stuff is online, and I'm like an idiot with it. So a lot of times I'm like, I don't know how to do this, and they'll come over immediately and just start showing me, and within like 5 minutes they've already shown me what I need to do, how I need to upload, where it needs to go. I mean, I don't know, they can teach it as quickly as they can learn it, which is pretty cool, because then they're just gonna keep getting better for them.
So you're in school again? For what are you going back for?
My master's. So I have a bachelor's in nursing. I'm going for my master's in nursing right now.
Have you been in school like basically the whole time, or did you take like a long gap?
I took a long gap. I graduated from nursing school in 2010, and I started back for my master's. When did I start back? 2021. Yeah, 2021.
So how hard is that to start back learning? Because that's where I'm at right now with coding, and I'm also learning. I'm diving deeper into graphic design, video editing, all that kind of stuff. What's it like to go back to learning?
Well, For my degree, it's a lot of papers. It's pretty on to be honest, it's pretty much all papers. Pretty much all we do is write papers. But I had totally forgotten about like APA formatting.
Are you a good writer?
I am a good writer.
Okay, I suck at writing.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm a good writer and it's easy for me, but I had forgotten about all the formatting and the citations and I just the reference pages, all that stuff. I had totally forgotten about all of that, and see, it's changed.
Yeah.
So when I thought, I was like, oh yeah, you put a parentheses and this and this. No, it's all different, and so I felt really old, and one I felt really stupid because it's like forum style too. So like I feel like there's a lot of people younger than me
That are used to discussing stuff that
right,
way.
and that went straight, have
Yeah.
done everything back to back to back, and so they're coming in and like they're the way they talk and stuff on the discussion and the way they attach things and I feel I mean I'm 35 years old. I'm not that old, but I feel like I'm freaking 80 because
Yeah.
I don't understand. I'm just not used to it. My first, I did a 4-year nursing program at a university where I went to class. I sat in lecture. That's how I went to college.
Yeah.
So to go from that to like 100% online, it was just it was it was hard for me, but I'm used to it now and I'm glad I did it. Because it is make me it's helped me in other areas too, technology wise, because I know how to use so many different like things associated with it. But it was intimidating for sure.
That's. I feel like a lot of people our age are either overeducated
Yeah.
or way undereducated.
Yeah, I agree.
And that kind of sounds a little weird, but I think there's people that probably should go back to school and learn a little bit more. And then there's people that way overshot. Like they went out for the moon and then ended up underperforming at whatever job they're at, right? Um, me, I didn't graduate high school, right? I got my GED at
Yeah.
16. I started as an electrician at 17. I'm 100% self-taught all the way up. I did go to a 5-year apprenticeship school through the Atlanta Electrical Joint Apprenticeship Training Center, um, which is just a fancy way of saying I went to Union Electrician School. But even that, I mean, it was like college. We went to school. We had books. We had labs. It was very strict and stringent. But most of my stuff has been learned in the real world. So even I do a lot of 3D design, CAD, like I model buildings basically, and put the electrical in them. Self-taught completely. Never went to drafting school. I've got a guy that works for me who went, 5 or 6 years. He's probably a year or two younger than I am. Spent 5 or 6 years in engineering school. Went all the way through. Went for mechanical engineering, and now he works for me in my drafting department, basically, modeling, drawing for me, and hates, wishes that he had not wasted that time, because all of mine was basically learned on the job.
Yeah.
So where I took practical experience and just pressed and learned, I feel like the millennial generation was kind of sold a bill of goods on college, right?
Yeah.
Like it was one of those things like you have to do this to be successful. And I follow a lot of people that, their message is bring back the trades. Like trade school is not bad. We need nurses. Like we need doctors, we need lawyers. I don't know that we need lawyers, but but there's a lot of jobs that we need college for, and I just don't think that it's for everybody. Like I've got a whole generation of high school kids that work for me in my shop that are amazing welders, great, potential electricians. We work them through our youth apprenticeship program, and they're in high school making $15-16 an hour working on my shop floor out here. And if they go through the apprenticeship school in 5 years after they graduate, they could be making $35 an hour, and making money the whole time they're going through trade school. And that's where I think, we've got to get back to appreciating the trades a little bit more.
Yeah. I do think that we're kind of heading in that direction, at least around here. Again, we're in a small town, so I really only know what I see, but I know that they do they do like the senior night stuff like for all the
Yep.
sports and whatever. And I noticed that this year's senior night when they say, what each kid is doing, like where they're going to school or whatever, a lot of them were not going to college. Where some were going to military, and then a lot were going to trade. And I mean, I have 3 sons, and I plan on encouraging all 3 of them to either go to the military or find a trade because
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with either of those. I
Yeah.
mean, as a matter of fact, if you were going to do college, I'd say the military might be the best option. Get it paid for while you're learning real world practical experience.
Yep, that's 100%. My husband didn't go. Well, he went to a year of college, but he didn't finish college, so he doesn't have a degree or anything. He makes more money than I do. I have a bachelor's degree, soon to be a master's degree, and I still won't make as much money as him. And I have student loans. I have debt from it. So
Yeah.
my husband has no debt.
You're still paying on your student debt.
Oh yeah, still paying on my loans.
Debt forgiveness just didn't come through, did it?
And I'm gonna tell you, and I'm not gonna all I'm gonna say about it is my little email when they were trying to get it to come through. It was only going to be $20,000
Yeah.
for everybody. So which it's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. The way it was kind of presented was like, oh, we're gonna wipe all this. No, not at all. They're just gonna cut a chunk of it out, which is a lot. It's a big chunk, but
How much? Okay. You can tell me if you want. How much student debt do you have from nursing school?
about 30,000.
And how much are you paying to go back for your master's?
I think it's probably going to end up being around 12.
I guess it's not that bad.
It's not. It's just annoying because, again, like you said, nurses are needed,
Yeah.
but yet I have to pay to come do this job that nobody else wants to do.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean,
Yeah, it is what it is, but I don't want my kids to be in that situation. And
Yeah.
that's what I've told them. Like, I'm telling you, there are better ways to do this. If you want to be a doctor, you want to be a nurse, you want to be an attorney, anything that needs a degree, do it through the military because it's not. I mean, I've been out of school for how long? Going on 13 years.
Yeah.
And I'm still paying on student loans.
and you're starting back with.
And
with
I
nothing.
have more. I'm adding more. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So yeah, it's just, yeah. We were sold that it was beat into my head from a very early age that if I don't go to college, I will amount to nothing in life.
Oh, it was. I was looked down on hard when I
bet.
I straight up told him like I'm done with high school, right?
Mhm.
Like I was 16. I knew more than most of my teachers at that point.
Yeah.
So I passed my GED on my first shot and went down the next week and applied for the trade school.
Yeah.
Like it was, I knew what I wanted to do, and like I'm not advocating for anybody to drop out of high school.
Yeah, I know. My son wants to drop out of high school, and he mentions you all the time. Oh, Michael didn't graduate high school. I'm like, oh.
I'm not advocating for that because I am a special case. I think like
Yeah, I think
I knew what I wanted to do. I was ready to go, and I was no slouch in high school by any means. Like I
Right.
had straight A's. I was done. I was in a bad situation at home and wanted to get out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like I quit high school and stayed at home. I quit high school and moved out.
Right.
Got a job.
Right.
Like started a family.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so I think we made it through our first podcast.
Yeah.
Are you happy you did it?
I am. Yeah.
I think it was a good conversation.
I think so.
I think we've got a lot more in the chamber.
This was much more serious than I anticipated, which is fine. It was.
You know what? It kind of went down a serious rabbit
Yeah.
hole, and it kind of surprised me too.
Yeah.
But we had some funny, we had some serious.
Mhm.
I think it's a good mix. We wanted to make it about nothing anyway, so now we made it about a little bit of something and a lot of nothing.
Yeah, I agree.
Perfect.
All right.
Cool.